Hello guys, so I am now in Maplewood Mountain, is it?
Maple Valley.
Maple Valley, I messed it up totally, in the Seattle area. And I caught up with my friend. I mean, I first of all knew him as a musician, but now I want to tag him as the man who has quit music to quit music for Microsoft.
Well, we still do music, but we're not pursuing it full time. It's still a passion, but the day-to-day activity is 100% Microsoft.
So I mean, for those who don't know your music background, walk us through it. What was it like? How did it start for you?
Well, it started way back. I went to Datus Preparatory School. And I remember taking my radio to the classrooms and trying to get a few attention, girls. And so it started from there. And I was involved in some church activities in Ghana, youth choir leader. So yeah, it goes way back in late 90s in Ghana.
And when did you start recording?
I think that my first recording was in 2002 with Zap Mallet. I was very young. I had no gray hair then. I was very young and fresh. But yeah, that was my very first recordings back in 2002.
And what name were you using back then?
It's my first name, Kudjo.
Yeah, but the Kudjo is not the usual spelling as well.
Well, you have to talk to my mom. Mm-hmm. So my mom, so anyway, at home everybody calls me Kudjo or Kwajo. My grandma calls me Kwajo Usu, and my mom calls me Kudjo. So my mom spelled it Kudjo instead of the normal Kwajo. Or so yeah, my spelling is just Kudjo. So with music, it's also Kudjo.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what kind of music were you doing?
It started with gospel, as usual, good boys. I was a good boy then.
Good boy going back.
Yeah, right. So it was gospel, and then I started doing. I'm not sure if it's hip life, but I had a fun for doing traditional broken English, tree mix, kind of high tempo African rhythm beats. So maybe it falls under hip life.
Cool.
Yeah.
And most of this started in Ghana.
No, it started here.
Yeah.
It started here. When I was in Ghana, it was more gospel.
Okay.
But when I came here, I started doing more towards the hip life kind of style.
So I mean, being here for over 15 years.
Being in the States.
Yeah.
Well, it's 20 and pushing.
Oh, that's a lot of years.
Yeah.
So when you look back now, in terms of the music you're doing, how it was being received, and the kind of music that's happening now, and even the fact that now you can even turn on a mainstream radio station in the US and even hear bits of our music there, what's the feeling like? What has changed for you?
So the Ghanaian music scene, I think it's changed a lot. I'm not sure if it's a good thing or not. I feel like we don't have an established brand right now in Ghana. You hear music that sounds like it's coming from South Africa. You hear music that sounds like it's coming from Nigeria or it's coming from Jamaica. I'm not sure if the music has changed in a direction whereby we can say that, hey, this is the brand of Ghanaian music and it's changed and it's still a Ghanaian music. I feel like we keep hopping from a style to a style.
But is that not the times we live in? The world is so open that what is yours is mine.
Yeah, that is a very good point. Good point. But if we want to be, what do we want to be identified with? Do we want to be identified as the country that produces musicians that play anything that's out there, or we want to have a style that we can associate and be identified with?
So for you think we should go back to traditional high life and
maybe not 100% traditional, but incorporate that traditional element into our music so we can then be identified with, pull a few bits here and there and incorporate that into our music. I think that's just my opinion.
Good. So off the top of your head, name your top 5 songs from Ghana now.
Oh, from Ghana now? Oh man, you're putting me on the spot. That's a tough one. So I really do like what is his name? This kid, not a kid, but Stoneboy. I like Stoneboy. I like the whole Shatawale and the Sarkodie. All the I like them. But I also enjoy Konimo. Yeah, Konimo is my guy. I really love his music and what he represents.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. So you've been in the US for 20 years. How did it start? Did you come for school?
Well, my parents were here. I remember those were the days where I wanted to come to the US so bad, and I remember getting my visa, and then coming to the state. And when I came, I wanted to go to school and become a politician. You know,
Why?
well, so long story short, you know how we say that you become what's around you. When I was growing up in Ghana, the rich men were all politicians, right? So I aspired to be a politician. I want to be rich. So that's
Much hasn't changed.
Really? So the goal is to become, go to school, go to law school, become a politician, then move back to Ghana and become a politician.
Okay.
And then be rich. So yeah, I came and that was the when I started going to college, that was the path I was going. I was pursuing to become a lawyer and of course become a politician and then finally be able to go back to Ghana. Okay. Well, that changed. And thanks to my mom who actually helped me with making the certain decisions. She will ask me, what do you really want to become? And think of the things you can do to impact or make a change. And I thought of becoming an engineer. Okay. So it changed from wanting to become a politician to wanting to become an engineer. Okay. And the bigger picture there was become an engineer, go to Ghana and help.
Cool. So what did you study and where did you now start?
So I started at City College and then a City College in Chicago. And then transferred to a university in Chicago, Illinois Institute of Technology. I was there for a year. And then I transferred to Purdue University and then completed my electrical engineering degree at Purdue University.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then after university, what next? What did you do?
Well, after university, I wanted to stay in and around the Chicago area. So my first offer for a job was in and around the Chicago area, which I actually accepted. I was working for a very small organization. It was a Bluetooth test engineering company, and they had their headquarters back in Swansea in the UK. So right after college, I remember being so happy and excited, seeing my offer and going, yay! This is what it is, what it takes to be an engineer for the first time. So anyway, I accepted an offer. I stayed in Chicago. And then the rest is history.
So at what point did you get into Microsoft, which is now?
Yes, so after 1 year working in Chicago, I remember being very bored. I was very, very bored. It was a Sunday. I'm sitting down watching football, and I picked up.
Can you imagine a board engineer?
Yeah, I was really, really bored. So I was really bored. It got to a point where I knew things before I even get myself into So everything was so robotic that I wanted to change. Mm-hmm. I remember going online and looking for jobs. It was a Sunday, and then I saw these positions in Microsoft, and then I said, hey, let me just apply and see what happens. So 2012 December I started looking, and in January 2013, I got an offer to move to Washington State.
Cool. Yeah. And what was the offer for? I mean, what department? What?
Yeah. So the offer that I got was actually a contractual offer, meaning I was going to be working on the premise of Microsoft, but I wasn't a full-time employee. So I was going to be working with the service team. And we were going to be helping with the Bluetooth and Wi-Fi subsystem validations and the quality of all these subsystems.
Which is more like a build up on what you had your previous job because
exactly. So it was all in a line of what I was doing before, and the cool thing is being able to work on products, on release products was actually the motivation. It was like, oh wow, I'm going to be working on products that's never released or it's not released. I get to see them before they release and it's Microsoft product. It was a no-brainer for me to move from Chicago to Washington State.
Okay. Yeah. And so after that contractual, you impressed them obviously.
Exactly. It was a process. After that, after 2 years, and I became a full-time employee. I'm now employed by Microsoft. So what it is if you're a full-time, there are two different badges. There's a yellow badge for contractors or vendors, and then there is a blue badge for full-time employees of Microsoft. So I'm now a full-time employee and fully employed by Microsoft.
Cool. So do you work on a specific project or it's quite
So I work with the Surface Group, so which is a PC world. All the Surface brands, I do work on the Surface brands, because every device has Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. I get to work on every device that has Surface tag on it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I mean, I think most of the time when we hear Microsoft, people just think of
Software. Yeah.
But you are in there. Let people understand what exactly
Yeah.
some of the other things that you do.
Yeah.
And all
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Like you said, usually when people hear of Microsoft, oh, software. Hey, my word is not working. Can you fix it for me? No. Microsoft has a branch called Surface, and Surface is actually we make hardware. We have Surface Studio, we have Surface laptops, Surface books, and it's not the old day software company. We do have hardware. A branch that deals specifically with hardware, or we call it devices. So yeah, I'm on the devices side of Microsoft.
Cool.
Yeah.
And I mean, in terms of software, in terms of hardware, a lot is changing. In technology.
Yeah.
What is the new thing that is trending, and what is the direction in the future that you see?
I think smaller things getting smaller yet powerful is what is now and in the future. Battery lives are getting longer and longer. We want a very thin piece of hardware that is packed with a lot of battery. We want speed, meaning Wi-Fi connectivity, the throughput or the data rate. We want speed, and that is now and that is also the future. We're also looking into like things in the cloud, right? Whereby you can access your stuff or your data wherever you go. So for us, you have internet connectivity. So in terms of future, the cloud is definitely the thing. Small is the thing, and speed is the thing.
Is it going to make things expensive or less expensive? Because especially for us back home, you realize that all of this come at a cost, and so sometimes you're not able to tap into it fully because it's expensive.
Yeah. I think that the beginning of every technology comes at a cost, but once we're able to master efficient way of producing them, then it definitely will become cheaper. And I hope that somewhere down the line back home, we're able to have these type of manufacturing plants that that we're able to even manufacture some of these things home, which will then cut down the cost. I feel like most of the things in Ghana or wherever they're imported, right? We're always the consumer end. We're always important, which of course drives prices. But technology, the beginning stage of every technology is expensive. But down the line, once we're able to mass produce it efficiently, then the prices will drop. And hopefully we benefit of that as well.
Talking about home, do you come to Ghana often?
Well, not as often as I would want to, Yes, I was in Ghana 2016. Before that, I think it was in 2012 and 2001 or 2002. So I would want to be able to visit Ghana, but it's.
And looking at the technology space, working with a tech giant, what is your vision for back home Ghana? What would you want us to get to?
I think we need to start a conversation. We need to have a conversation that will ignite the youth into thinking technology. We need to have a curriculum that encourages the STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. I think we need that conversation, and the earlier we start, the better. I feel like kids in Ghana should be introduced to technology very early, very very early. Then definitely we can be part players of the game. Right now we are not. We're just on the sidelines watching others creating and building hardwares and softwares that we're just consuming. But not until we start involving the youth in our kids into thinking science, math and science, engineering and technology. I think there is a gap.
So I think Patrick Ewa is a product of Microsoft as well, and he's back home. doing, he has a university. Are you aware of this? What do you think about?
Oh yeah, Patrick Ewa. Yeah, I think we need more people like him. We definitely do need more people like him. And when if you see him, tell him I'm really proud of him, and I'm very happy for what he's doing for Ghana and the continent, and for Black people. I think we need more people like him. Being able to again, it's all about introduction, and it's all about starting people young.
What's the day like working at Microsoft for you?
Well, so usually I wake up around 3 a.m., 4 a.m. My day starts very early. I have a 4.5-year-old daughter, which I will, I take her to school. So usually I wake up 4 a.m., start going through my emails, start putting down notes, and I'll get myself ready for the day. I drop off my little girl at school, and then I'll be in the office between 8:30 and 9 a.m. And depending on how meetings, my days are packed with meetings, I usually will be on campus until 6 p.m. It's back to back.
When you say campus is your work. Like
yes, right.
It's so big you have to call it campus.
Right. We have. It's really big. It's like a little town. It's like a little college. It's like a university. Different buildings, with soccer pitches, football pitches, and basketball and restaurants.
Do you play any of this?
Well, I used to play soccer until I had an injury. So, but yeah, usually I'll be on campus at 9 and leave at 6 p.m. Most of the time.
And in terms of capacity, how many workers?
It's a lot. It's a lot. In thousands. I believe we're 40,000. I believe that the overall full-time employees of Microsoft are over 100,000, and on campus about 40 to 50,000. That's a lot of us.
That's a lot, and it's very diverse.
It is very. It is.
All backgrounds.
Yeah, it is. It is very diverse. There's not a lot of us, which we're working to change. And I hope this sends out a message to people back home that there is a space for you. There is a space in the science world for you. There's a space, and there's a place called Microsoft and all the other big companies that are looking towards bringing you on board. Okay. So yeah, it is quite diverse. It's just not a lot of us. Great.
And there's a lot of money to be made there too, I guess.
Of course. It's not bad. That's again. I hope the youth who are watching will see this as an inspiration. Being in the science world, financially, it's not a problem. It wouldn't be a problem. They'll give you enough that you'll be self-sufficient. Yeah.
Okay. So finally, maybe let's wrap up. Future plans. What does future look like for you?
A perfect future is that I am involved in some sort of industry in Ghana, some sort of anything that will help the continent of Africa, anything that I can bring to the table to help Ghana. Our minds are open, and a perfect future will be that I'll be in Ghana and helping and working in Ghana.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, all the best.
Thanks, Ameyaw.
It's been amazing chatting with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great.
Absolutely.
Cheers.
Peace out.